Hey folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to another home studio trainer show. Got a little bit of my voice back, so I've decided to go ahead and try to shoot a couple vids here. All right, before we get started, if you could, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the follow button if you're over there on Rumble. And if you want to support what I do here, click the link in the description to become a Patreon member. All right. So this actually came up with a client as far as using VCA faders, and I've been doing a lot of beginner type videos lately, so there are a lot of you that are probably just going to move on to another video, but for you guys that really haven't had a chance to really work with VCA faders, I'm just going to show you a couple of tricks and tips on using them. They're very, very simple. All right, so here we are in the classroom, and I've got this little bitty song here that I put together. All right, so there are times where I would like to actually fade out some of the instruments and maybe bring up just the acoustics and then come back and be able to do some automation. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is if you look at the faders here, there's really no kind of dialog box to show you if any of these tracks are associated with a VCA fader. So what you need to do, you need to go right here to this little wrench, and you need to click on VCA fader connections. There we go, and it opens up. A lot of you are like, what, didn't do anything. And that's exactly what I was like the first time I went to use it. It didn't do anything. So if you look down here, you have these little boxes here. And let me see if I can zoom in a bit here. So if you click on these, you can see there's no VCA faders available. And that's just fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to right click and we're going to say add a VCA channel. Boom, there it is. So now remember, no audio goes through this channel. That's why you don't see any kind of plug-in options or anything like that. It is strictly a controller. It's an external controller, and that is external to the existing channels. Excuse me. I hate it when that happens. All right, so what we want to do is we want to link a couple of these. So what I'm going to do is I want to fade out the drums, and I'm going to connect that to VCA1, and I want to fade out the bass. I'm going to connect that to VCA1, and I want to fade out this other vocal track here, this voice 1 here. Just click on that, and we're going to click on the box. I'm going to say VCA1. So now, when I see you falling down from the sky, makes it really easy to do some custom mixes, fade certain tracks in, and you can also link some of the other tracks to a secondary VCA if you wanted to. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at automating. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. I'm going to right click on this fader, and I'm going to say edit automation. Boom, it opens up a new track in our arrange view. Just like that. So now, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this to touch. And I'm just going to move the fader at the points that I want to move it. Very cool. All right, so that was kind of abrupt, and actually, this is a good thing to understand. If you are in touch mode, the minute you let go of the fader, it's going to return to the starting point of the volume level. So in this case, I'm just going to do a Command Z and get rid of that. I'm going to do it again here. When I see we go. Oop, a little late. All right, so since I was a little late on that downbeat, I'm going to open this up and make it come in. There we go. All right, so now let's see what that sounds like. There you go. It gives you a lot of flexibility to customize your different mixes. All right, so now the question might come up, well, what if you don't want to lose the original mix? Remember, like I said, if you use touch mode, the minute you hit play, it's going to remember the original mix. So you don't have to worry about that. Using the write mode is a little bit different. I'm going to do a separate video on write and latch at some point. But if you're happy with how this turned out, you can now take this and change it to read. Just like that. So now no matter what I do, it's going to return to the original mix, or depending on where I start the song. So if I actually start the song in the middle of the drop, that's where it's going to go. There we go. One more time. When I see you falling down from the sky, I can feel what it must be like so far. And you know, you can always make these wider in order to actually give yourself a little bit more editing room. Let's see if I can bring this down a bit. There we go. We can make that really nice and easy to zoom in on some of the points and things like that. And there you go. That is the VCA faders. Remember, if you're actually using the mixer, you can add a track to any VCA fader at any time. We're going to keep that none. Also, remember, if you go to the wrench, you got to make sure that the VCA connections is checked so that you see the little box at the bottom. And if you want to use the automation or create an automation track, it is just as easy as right-clicking on the fader and saying Edit Automation. So in this case, I can remove the automation if I want to. There you go. All right, so I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.